Hello and welcome back, and in the last few sections we have gone through the user creation on our system and on our platform, and our application is able to log in and log out and register new users and also keep track of the registered users. Okay, and we also made sure that we are able to protect our APIs as well as the UI using Auth0's identity management platform. So the next thing now is to actually go ahead and do the continuous integration aspect of our project. And let's go ahead and check in the code for both our projects. And I'm going to first go over to the API project and go ahead and create a new branch there, and then go ahead and add all these new files and eventually go ahead and merge them to master branch. We will be using the same script that we have been using all along, and that's this particular file here. Okay, I want to say push to get.pad, and first thing would be a comment, and I'm going to say user creation with auth with security, right? With security. And I'm going to go ahead and name this particular branch as, I think we were on, let me see which branch we were on. We were on 2.0, I think, if I'm correct. Yeah, we were 2.4, so I'm going to say, oops, I lost that. Okay, I'm going to say user creation with security. Okay. And then I'm going to name this 3.0. I'm going to say API-user. I think that's how we'll be naming it all along. Yeah, API-user creation. Yeah, all right. This should make its way up to the GitHub now. Let's see. Let's go over to the GitHub. Hopefully it would have. Yeah, there we go. It says it has made its way up. Okay, we'll soon go ahead and make a pull request and merge the changes. And before that, we also want to make sure our env file contents to Heroku, right? So if I do a type.env here, we have some new entries here, especially these two. So what we're going to do is we'll go ahead and incorporate those changes in there. I'm going to go ahead and log into Heroku here and say heroku.com and sign in. Right, I'm logged into Heroku now. Let's get into our API-Indie project here. Go into settings. Okay, and remove config bars. And in here, I'm going to create some new variables. Okay. So I'll head over back to my Indie project for the API and head over to .env and make sure I copy some of this, the last two especially. So we are in good shape here. Okay, I think our deploys are right now set to auto mode, right? So if I go to deploy, it should be saying, yes, we have enabled automatic deployments. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is head over to GitHub, do a compare pull request. All right, say create pull request. It says able to merge here, and again it's and then now it's good to go ahead and do a merge right now. So I'm going to say merge pull request, confirm, and soon we should be able to see our deploy here. That's going to happen. Okay, if I look at the activity, the build should have triggered by now. Not yet. Interesting. Oh yeah, there we go. The build has triggered, and this should soon finish. Alright, so it looks like that's deployed just fine. Hopefully there are no surprises in here. Yeah, it's connected and it's the status is in up state. Okay, and the next thing we want to do here, go back over to our FE project. Okay, and essentially do the same thing, right? And let me check which branch I'm on right now. I'm on 4.10. I'm going to use the same script here, push to get, and I'm going to say user creation with security. Okay. Alright, and I'm going to name this. What will I name this? I'm going to name this 5.0 and this is going to be fe-user-creation. Okay, super, and this one should also make its way up now. Okay, let's check that. I'm going back to the GitHub. Let's see, no, why we're still here? It's already merged. fe_indiecafe should be up. Yeah, there we go. You can do a compare pull and request, but before that, I want to make sure we have our environment variables here, which is quite a few in the case of FE, right? So I think we've introduced almost 4 of them here right now. Okay, so let me go ahead and make those changes. Alright, I've entered all those new variables in here. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the last one. Go ahead and save. So now we should be good to actually go ahead and merge it. Let me see if auto deploy here is essentially enabled or not. I think we have enabled auto deploy. Let's go back to the deploys here. Yeah, there is auto completion here. Okay, so anytime I'm going to go ahead and merge this now to my master, it's going to trigger a build. All right, so let's go ahead and compare a pull request, create a pull request. This is going to again say we are good to go. All right, I'll probably wait for this to finish here just in case. All right, folks, looks like we have some issues here. So essentially I went into this particular thing and looked at the errors. It says the deploy failed here. Mixed content indiecafe, pages changed. I'm not sure what this is. So essentially what this one is saying though is that we have left some of those variables in warnings unaddressed. Okay, so that is causing the issue. And let's see what is actually happening with other ones. If I go in here, check the logs, I rather expected it could be much of the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing. Okay, and let's see the other one. Expected to be much of the same, so we forgot to essentially get rid of those warnings, right? Okay, alright, yeah, it's the same thing. And finally, what about the last one? Yeah, it's the same thing, essentially, command failed, because, we have forgotten to address these warnings. Okay, so let's go ahead over back to our FE code, okay? And yeah, something that we should be mindful of, and we also have to be essentially mindful of the fact that, these things have to be taken seriously. Otherwise, if we just go ahead and merge the pull request, it has the possibility that, we'll end up with a buggy implementation, and eventually the deployment will fail, right? So that is the whole idea. Okay, let's see what we can do here. I'll head over back to my FE code, okay? And in here, I think I have quite a few of those warnings, right? It's designed, it's never used, okay? So that's a warning. And let's see if I can get rid of that straight away. Go over here. I'm not using get access token silently. I am using, right? Create user handler. Where is that? Yeah, that's right here. So essentially there is a use effect here. That's the warning. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and disable this warning right now, because it doesn't seem like a genuine warning to me. Okay, and what is this one? Is assigned a value but never used. 16, line 16. I think must be our old warning, I would think. src.app.js, Control G, and 16. We are using this. Oh, okay, yeah, we are using it, sure. It's mostly this one, I think, the create user handler, that's causing an issue. Okay, so let's get rid of that. And I think we did that last time as well. Let's head over here. Yeah, we just have to copy this bit, paste it in here. Okay, it's still showing up. Get access token silently 16. We are using it. Not sure what's actually happening here. Oops. Yeah, I think we got a clean build this time around. Oh, surprisingly, where can I get rid of this? Why is it saying that? I'm not sure. If I go back here, we got something of the same sort. Let's take a look at it before we go ahead and make that change. Let's look at the logs. I think this is probably something that's a false positive in my opinion. Maybe what we can do is I'll just go ahead and do a Control-C and kill this process. I'm going to say npm cache clean -f. Okay, let's go ahead and clean the cache and then rebuild this. Yeah, and then I'm going to say npm start again. Hopefully it won't give me anything this time around. Alright, so we're back up, and essentially this error is not going away. I most likely would like to believe it's a false positive. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and push this up again, okay? And I need to make sure I create a new branch now, which is going to be file.1 if user creation. Go ahead and push this up. Yeah, that's made its way up. And if I go back to my GitHub, I should be able to see that stuff in here. Okay, let's see, where am I at? Where's GitHub? Kind of lost it already. Yeah, this is the GitHub, by the way. Okay, yeah, then let's go. FED Cafe, and then we have a new branch here. Compare and pull request. Go ahead and create the pull request, and this will run the check again. I'm going to go ahead and wait for the checks to finish. Alright, so we got the ticks this time around. Okay, so we can go ahead and do a merge here. I'm going to say confirm, and this should trigger a deploy on Netlify. Okay, this is merged and closed, and yeah, that's where it is. The deploy is happening already. Okay, I think the last one, deploy preview, failed because of the warnings, and we can also take a look at the error logs here. I think it finished already. Interesting. What happened? Okay, I think we're still... Yeah, this is pretty much done. Super. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to preview because we have the course thing at play, so it won't essentially do that. So I'm going to say, I think auto publish was already there, right? What happened to this? I thought, is this building still? I will let it refresh. Alright, so it's already published this time. That's what I'm getting here. So I'm going to head over to the cafe netlify.app. Super. And let me see if I can log in here. What I'm going to do here, though, I'm not going to take this in incognito mode. I'll go back to my regular mode. Okay, that way I have the user ID, everything in place here. Okay, so let's see what happens. Okay. Go over to sign in. Alright, I'm signed in right now. Okay, if I have to look at my inspect here of the logs, yeah, it says user is not authenticated and user is already present in our system. Alright, super. And this is the first time, this is the second time, and it's not sending that user along. And let's go ahead and register a new user. I'm also gonna look at the logs here right now. Let's see, if I go back to Heroku and look at the logs, I should be able to see those new logs right now. It is not changed. Let me see if I can refresh them. Ideally, I would like to see the... Let's go back here and then... Okay, that's because our user API was not called because we didn't create a new user. Okay, what I'm going to do next though is go ahead and register a new user, and this time around it's essentially much of the same thing. I'm going to say user 3, U3, yeah. I'm going to delete some of these users at some point in time because it's 2 users, and that's eventually going to help us stay sane. Too many users can essentially spoil the broth. Yeah, okay. No, don't save me. And if I go over back to, yeah, we are actually able to create a new user in our system. And if I go over back to the Heroku dashboard, I can see that here. There you go, the JWT token, super. And the API came back in 339 milliseconds. Super. And if I head over to the Robo3T client and look at my users. I should have one more user here. Okay, yeah, that's the one, 5th user. There we go, user U3. Okay, all right, so let's actually take a pause here. We will come back and then look at the next steps, and the next steps will be to go ahead and look at our card component, which we had set out to do at the first initial part of this section. Okay, and we'll continue to go ahead and look at improving that card component. Let's take a pause and come back soon.